So in week 4 we'll talk about the sociological theories of criminology. So there are total 3 sociological theories of criminology. The first one is the structural functionalism, the second is the critical criminology, and third is the symbolic dissexation. The first is the structural functionalism. In this theory they mostly talk about the social instability and among the which is the main cause for the crime. In this structural functionalism, there are total 4 theories. The first is the Chicago School of Criminology, the second is the social disorganization theory, the third is the control theory, and the fourth one is the strain theory. The first is the Chicago School of Criminology. In the Chicago School of Criminology, they mostly talk about in the North America, when the North America was developing, the many big cities of the world was developing. So with the development, so there was the urbanization, because of which many people migrated from small cities to the big cities like the North America. So in the search of employment, so when they go there, because of which they left their families at home and they were alone there. So and also so firstly when they were living back in their country, so they were socially controlled by their family, but when they came there for the employment or for the getting study like international student, so because of which they were not socially controlled by their families, and which lead to the crimes, and also it lead to when people are unemployed and they do not have any work, so and they are not socially controlled by their family, they mostly do crime to earn money. The second was the social disorganization theory. In this social disorganization theory, in this theory they mainly talk about when the government or the schools or the organization institutes of the country are not able to teach the people. So they are not able to teach what is wrong and what is right. So there is no supervision from the government and schools, because of which the people, mostly the peer group, they try to the criminal peer group, they fill the gap of this, so they mostly tell the people to do crime, and they mostly involve in them when the government and schools in the country are not proper to do this thing. The third is the control theory. In this control theory they mostly talk about when the people, so in this they talk about the formal and the informal. The formal is the police and law, the informal is the society or the community or the friends. So when in control theory they talk when there is a strong connection with the family, so mostly people don't want to do any crime, so because they will love their loved one, so they know that if they go in these things, so it will badly affect their family and their community. So if they are controlled by their family, so they mostly prefer to not do these things. So because of if there is their family, so they will stay away from these things. But if they are not controlled by their family or not connected with their family, they feel free and they mostly go towards the crime. The next is the full stress. In this they start thinking about the legal ways. For example, if the person is not able to achieve its goal, so if they are not able to achieve this goal, they become stressful, so in which they get frustrated, and in which they found the illegal ways they can with which they can achieve their goal. And so this is the full stress. The second is the critical feminism. In this is because of impact of colonialism. So in this in which they criticize the social inequality and the racial discrimination and the minority uh, discrimination among the people. So in which there are critical race theory, in which they criticize any form of discrimination which is mostly based on the religion and minority base. So they criticize this theory. The next one is the intersectionality, in which when the individuals are in which the people, when they are suffering from more than one crime, so this one is known as the intersectionality. So when they are being inequality activity. So the next one is the symbolic and interactivism. So in the symbolic interactivism, which lead individual to do in which because of which the criminal behavior of the individual is there. So whether they are more criminal based or less criminal based. So it can be the influence of each other, the people living around them. The next is in this symbolic interactivism there are two theory. The first is the labeling theory, the second is the differential associational theory and the social learning theory. In the labeling theories, there are stereotypes in the countries. So in those stereotypes they mostly label the person that the person behavior is criminal, and when everyone try to say the same things, or the group of individual or people starting to say one person that he's criminal and he's these type of people are these, so it have the impact. So they start labeling that thing with that person that he is criminal. So this is the labeling theory. The next one is the differential associational theory. In this theory the group as socially associated uh, to change their behavior, like social environmental people. The next is the social learning theory. In the social learning theory they mostly do the social experiment with the people. So that was about the sociological theories of criminology in week 4.